Yep, Donny Glover.
Thank you. And your occupation?
I'm a lieutenant with the police department, LSPD.
Beautiful. Thank you. Please just try to answer the questions to the best of your ability. Obviously,
Yep.
the particular incident we are talking about happened almost 2 months ago, so if there are parts of it you don't remember, you can be honest and say, I don't remember. Um, okay. So, do you remember being present at LSC on a day when LSPD was serving a warrant on Mr. Mike Glasser? Would have happened
Yes.
roughly 7 weeks ago. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you ever aware of any contract between Los Santos Customs and LSPD in any capacity?
I was not, ma'am. No physical contract or anything like that. That's above me.
Okay, all right.
So,
Um, do you remember mentioning anything about Los Santos Customs being searched to Mr. Glasser or his attorney on the day of the search?
uh, no. So I did not. Um, I mentioned it to the attorney. Um, there, they knew, but we came to some kind of agreement, verbal. It was written out, but he failed to sign that agreement. Basically, not we didn't search his vehicles, so it was kind of like a trade. Um, you know, I admitted wrong there that day, but
Okay, so on that date there was some sort of agreement that was made,
there was
and then Mr. Glasser had not signed it, and
with Keith Wetzel.
with
Yes,
Keith Wetzel. Okay, perfect. And that was the state's attorney at the time, just for the record.
yes,
Um,
ma'am.
do you remember any other statements at any time made about Los Santos Customs while Mr. Glasser was in custody?
I have no recollection of that. If I would have said anything, basically him as a business owner, in with PD, I, would be like I basically said, this, this isn't going to like change anything for the future, or whatever. This is separate, right? So that's probably what I would have said. If I can recollect, I can't recollect every single thing, but I knew nothing about a physical contract or any contract itself.
Okay, so do you just said that it wouldn't have changed anything in the future? To what were you referencing? If we said
Like
that.
PD, like basically, if we were to ever um, get a contract with them in the future, like I'm not the person to determine that.
Got you.
That's
Okay.
way above. Yeah, that's way above my rank.
Okay. Mr. Justice, do you have any cross exam questions?
Yeah, yeah. All right, Mr. Glover. Um, so, is it fair to say that you may have known that there was a potential that the PD was considering LSC for a some kind of service contract or something along those lines?
Yes. So I knew of something in the works of like a potential. Chief Miller made that known um, to us, but then I heard nothing of it after that. So I knew something was maybe in the works, but I knew of no physical contract being written out and signed or anything like that. So I got no information on that.
Okay, so as far as you were aware, it was just still in the
It,
works.
it was hearsay. Yeah, it wasn't nothing pertinent at that time.
And at the time was like, so there's a mention of Mr. Glasser down in the cells and a conversation had. How would you how would you describe Mr. Glasser's?
His tone.
How would you describe him? You know, in that moment in the cells.
He was pretty mad. He was mad that we raided properties while he was asleep, and that a previous position had granted a search on one of the houses, Nicola Place, and then we searched that place again, that residence. He was mad about that as well. Um, but to be fair, sir, the warrant itself, it it typically should say all properties listed. So, um, but his tone was very, very aggressive, very mad. Um, you know, felt betrayed. I guess.
Okay.
So
I'm more or less. I'm kind of. How did we get on the conversation of the quote unquote potential contract with Mr. Glasser?
so I don't remember talking about like, oh, yeah, this signed contract you have. There was nothing signed. There's no. I was basically just trying to say business, right? Like, he was worried about his business, and um, but overall, it was one mention of his business, and then he was just more mad that we searched his properties. It wasn't like, oh, how am I going to pay my bills? Nothing of that sort. There was no connection there. Um, with the contract deal, I've never seen a physical contract, nor I knew of something in the works. But like I said before, I am not in that position to go to that business and talk about any contracts or about any contracts with anyone in the cells, especially while they're being investigated. That's a big no.
Okay, so essentially, what we're saying, and you can answer this yes or no.
Yes.
Always have the opportunity to do that. Essentially, when the conversation of this not affecting his future business or any kind of utterance that you may have said that you may not be able to recall right now, surrounding the business was probably just like a reassurance, or you were trying to reassure or somehow, calm him down to the fact that his business wouldn't be affected based on this search warrant. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Scarlett?
Yeah, just circle back here. You said obviously at the time, the person who would have dealt with that, it was above your pay grade, would have been, Chief Miller, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And kind of just more of a restatement of one of Justin's questions here. As far as speaking with him, if you had made any utterances in the cells while speaking with Mr. Glasser, because it was above your particular office at LSPD, anything that you would have said would not have been binding in that moment, is what you're essentially saying. If you did or didn't, irrelevant, even if you did say something, it was above your office, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I wasn't trying to say anything binding. I did not say anything of the sort.
Okay. All right. I am all done. Are you done, Mr. Justice?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good
All right. I will end the recording.
And just to clarify too, now filtering stuff, I was a master sergeant at the time, so I wasn't a lieutenant. I wasn't where my rank was currently.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Appreciate that.